So we're going to continue our journey with estimation. You should have watched the previous video on estimation, which introduces the approximately equal to sign and a small exercise on, for example, estimating the number of students in a school, estimating the number of left-handed students, and so on. What we're going to do in this video is practice how to estimate an actual calculation. So we'll do an example here. Now these questions, it's a balance between accuracy and speed. So you don't want to spend too long, because if you make it very accurate and you work out the exact answer, that takes too long. And if you make it too simple, then it loses its accuracy. So we want to have a fine balance between them. So we're going to round the numbers sensibly. So I'm not going to give you a specific rule. There's no specific way that you have to round them. Now behind these boxes is a calculation, and all you're going to do is, once you see it, you need to think to yourself, what is the answer to this roughly? So here's a question. How would you do this in your head? What would you change these numbers to? Now I'm going to show you for this. If it says estimate, that means that you can round these numbers. So I would say this is approximately the same as or equivalent to 200 times 5, and that's going to be 1,000. So let's have a look at what the exact answer is. So 210 times 5 is another possibility that you may have done. 200 times 5 is what I decided to do, and the exact answer happens to be 1055.6. So that's actually a good estimation. It's not very far off. So have a go doing the same thing with this calculation here. What would you round this to, and what would it give you? And then I'm going to show you the possibilities for this. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So to do this, I would say I would round this to 3,400, take away 400. And that is equal to 3,000. Okay, so in this case, I think this will probably be what you would have done as well. I can't imagine many other ways to round this, because they are so close to these numbers. And the exact answer would be 3004. Now, if you get a question like this in a test and it says estimate the answer, you should not be working out the exact answer at all. You should not even be writing that. This is just to show you how far off we are. What you want to write is what I've written in green, or what you see here at the bottom in black. Okay, so here's another question. Have a go with this one. What do you think this would round to? Okay, so 5.5 is obviously halfway between 5 and 6. So you might decide, there's two possibilities here. You may have decided to do 30 divided by 5, or you may have decided to do 30 divided by 6. Now both of those calculations are possible and quite easy to do, and they'll give you two different answers, 5 or 6, and both of these would have gotten you full marks, whichever one you would have chosen. The exact answer happens to be 5.4545 recurring, so not very far off in either case. It is pretty much roughly in the middle. Okay, so let's look at a few statements here. So Livia says estimating is just guessing the answer. Do you agree? So have a think. What do you think? Do you agree? I would say it's not just guessing, because this makes it sound like it's random. It's more of an educated calculation. Or maybe you can even say an educated guess, but it's not a random guess, because the numbers are not far off. That's kind of the point. Anton says the following, and this can be estimated as 60. Do you agree? So maybe have a go estimating this and see, does it quite work? So here's a few things about this statement. 3.6 you might make that into a 4, and then 52.9, you might make that into 53. So 53 plus 4, if we rounded it, so 53 plus 4 is 59, and 59 you might round that to 60. Now here's the issue. Anton has estimated it as 60, but he's estimated the final accurate answer. So that defeats the whole point of estimating. You want to do this calculation I've done in green first, and then just round, or you might leave it as 59. This Anton has actually worked out the exact answer, which kind of defeats the purpose. So we would disagree with him. Okay, have a read of the last one. Betty says 579 take away 102 can be estimated as 600 take away 100 equals 500. Do you agree? So let's have a look. 580 take away about 100 is going to give you 480. Now you might actually also do 600 take away 100, which would give you 500. So I would say I would agree. Both of these are sensible estimations. And this is why it's important to understand there's no strict rule on how you round it. 580 and 600 are both sensible roundings. Okay, so let's now estimate the following. Can you have a go with both of these? And then I'm going to show you my version of this. Okay, so the first one, I would say that's pretty much 40 take away 10. And that will give you 30. The exact answer happens to be 28.2, so we're not very far off. And this one here, I would say this would estimate to 0.6 take away 0.2, which is 0.4. And the exact answer is 0.417. So again, quite sensible estimation. I'm happy with that. Okay, next one. Try these 3 questions, and then I'm going to go through these with you. Okay, for the first question, we might decide to do 18,000 times 9. We might decide to keep it even simpler. I'm going to say that's around 20,000 times 8. So 20,000 times 8 is about 160,000. Let's see how far off we were. The exact answer is 151,000, so it's not very far off. That's acceptable. You may have done a slightly more accurate answer to get slightly closer to 151,000, but either way, that's fine. Question 2, this will be approximated to 3 times 100 divided by, now 9, let's see, that's going to be 300 divided by 9. So that is going to become 100 over 3, which is around 33. Another way we may have decided to do this is 3 times 100 divided by 10. And that would just give you 300 over 10, which is 30. So again, it's not very far off. 30 and 33, not far off. Both of those would have been fine. The exact answer is 32.2. Okay, the last one, 79.1 over 1.83. So this last one we can approximate as 80 divided by 2. So that's going to give you around 40. So the exact answer here is 43.224. So again, quite close, sensible. All right, so in the next video, we're going to be looking at how to divide with decimals a bit more detail. So you need to just recap that knowledge. So watch out for that in the next video, and then we will do some practice with that